In this lesson, I'm going to teach you to play a version of Bob Dylan's Every Grain of Sand arranged for acoustic guitar. Now I'm going to start with a demo of the beginning of the song, and then I'll tell you a bit about why I've arranged it like this, and then I'll show you how to play it. So here's the demo of the beginning of the song. In the time of my confession, in the hour of my deepest need, when the pool of tears beneath my feet floods every newborn seed. Okay, so let me tell you a bit about why I've chosen to arrange it like that. First of all, I've been lucky enough to see Bob Dylan live for the last 3 years running. And every time I've seen him live, he's played Every Grain of Sand as the final song. And it's lovely. It's just such a lovely song with a sort of spiritual, beautiful lyric. And it's simple and it just sounds great. And if you listen to the version on Shot of Love, and this is very similar to the way that it was played when I heard him play it live, it's got this beautiful electric guitar part, just playing arpeggios. And I think probably the electric guitar is using bar chords. And the song is in E flat, which is a strange old key, really. At least the Shot of Love version's in E flat anyway. Now, question is then, well, how do you play that on an acoustic guitar and get it to sound like that? Now I've put the capo on the 8th fret, and this puts the song into the same key as Shot of Love. There it is. You can see right up there on the 8th fret. Now you could move it down a bit if you want to. It depends on what works for your voice. But this is what you're going to play. I'll just play it through for you. So there's 2 chords there that play at the start of the song. Now the first one is a 1-finger chord. I'm using my little finger. You can use whichever finger you like, really. But it's going to go on the top string, 3rd fret, relative to the capo. And we're going to play 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, top string, 2nd string, 3rd string. That's our little pattern. Now I'm using my thumb for the 4th, my index for the 3rd, my middle for the 2nd, and my ring finger for the top string. But anyway, it's 4, 3, 2, top, 2, 3. That's the pattern, so you do that once. Now you move to this chord. So here I'm just putting my middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and I'm putting my index or pointer on the 2nd string, 1st fret. And you play the same strings in the same order. 4, 3, 2, top, 2, 3. Okay, and you're alternating between those 2 chords. In the time of my confession, in the hour of my deepest need, and so on. Now, if you're interested in what those chords are, ignoring the capo, imagining this was down at the nut. Then this one is a G over D, and this one is a C over E. Okay, so basically this is a G chord, but our bass note is a D. This is a C chord, but our bass note is an E. Okay, that's it. So that's how we start. So that's the beginning. In the time of my confession, in the hour of my deepest need, when the pool of tears beneath my feet. Now we're going to play a D chord, and I do a spread here. Floods every, so from the 4th string you're going to spread there like that. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Floods every. So that's spread, then 2, then 3. Now move into a D sus4. You're doing that, it's a standard D chord, but you're putting your little finger there on the top string 3rd fret, as well as playing the D chord. So that's a D sus4. So floods every, then D sus4, newborn. So I'm playing 4th string and top together, then 2nd and 3rd. So floods every newborn. Now back to a standard D, take your little finger off and play the same old pattern you were playing on the other key chords. Seed. So 4, 3, 2, top, 2, 3. So we've got floods every newborn seed, or some such. Then you're back again to the same 2 chords you started with. There's a dying voice within me, reaching out somewhere, toiling in the danger. Here we go to the D and D sus4, back to D again. And the morals of despair. Okay, now at this point in the song we're going to stay on that D chord. Don't have the inclination, you can go to D7 if you want to now. Inclination to look. Back to our first chord again. Back on any move. And to D again, stay. We have another line now, which is the same as that last line, so starts on D. Like Cain and now be, then D7. Behold this chain of then to our G over D chord. Events that I must. And now D, break, and then a standard C chord. Okay, break, D, C. Now we're back to the pattern that we started with. In the fury of the moment, I can see the master's hand in every leaf that trembles. Now we're going to go to D, and then after that back to our G over D chord. Every grain of sand. And then you head into the second verse. In a moment, I'm going to show you some ideas for how you can further develop your playing of every grain of sand. But before I do that, let me just say, if you've been enjoying this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe so you'll be notified of all the future videos that I release. And if you'd like to, please join as a member. It's cheap to do that, it supports the channel, and it gives you special early access to all of my guitar lessons as well. Okay then, let's take a look at those ideas for how you can further develop your playing of every grain of sand. Alright, let's think about ways that we can develop this a little bit then from that basic riff. So if you're lucky enough to be able to play with another guitarist, then one of you could play the riff that I showed you earlier, and the other one could put their capo on the 3rd fret here, and then play a C chord and an F chord, a bit like this. Oh, the flowers of indulgence and the weeds of yesteryear, like criminals they have choked the breath. Okay, and then here we're going to play a G. Conscience and good cheer, so that's G, G sus4, G, conscience and good cheer. So that's one thing you could do if you can play with another guitarist. Now, if you tune your 6th string down to a D, not quite in tune, but never mind, then you can do some interesting things. And so experiment with these. On that first chord, which remember was a G over D, well, now you have a D on the 6th string, and if you put your middle finger there on the 5th string 2nd fret relative to the capo, so just playing with those 2 fingers, got a kind of an interesting chord. Gone from rags to, you could do something like that. And then when you come to that other chord there, remember that's C over E, well, because your 6th string is tuned down to A D, if you fret it at the 2nd fret, you can use your thumb to do that. You've got a note of E, right? And then put your ring finger there on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and then you've got a standard C chord, but add in the 6th string with the thumb there fretting it at the 2nd fret, and again you've got a C over E. And those two versions of the chords might lend themselves to some gentle strumming, like this. I've gone from rags to riches in the sorrow of the night, in the violence of a summer's dream. Now when you get to that D chord, you've now got a D in the bass, so you could play in the chill of a winter